for forced vaccines and everything else. But notice in Obama's State of the Union, Ty, did you catch where he said, we're going to put speed train all over the country, high-speed rail. Don't worry, now you won't have to get pat-downs on the rail. They're already doing pat-downs on rail. Everyone that went in the Super Bowl got a genital pat-down. I mean, there's nowhere to run or hide from this. TSA is now setting up checkpoints on highways, Ty. I just want to commend your father for his courage because he loves his privacy. As he said on my show, he was really going to retire 3 years ago. He wants to ride off into the sunset. He's doing this for everybody and for his country as a governor, as a veteran. Can you speak to your, the fact that they're...
Look, we're not publicity hounds. We don't do things for publicity. We do things because we feel that we have to stand up and they're morally right. And nothing about this is anything to do with publicity. My dad's always been that way through his whole life, is that if he sees something wrong, he speaks about it, whether for good or bad. If he believes it's wrong, he'll speak out about it. And I think that's important for us all to do. And you have to keep up that constant vigilance.
Well, talking to him on air and off, he just says, Alex, I want to ride off in the sunset, but I can't stand this tyranny. So he says, I do 6-8 months here fighting it, but then I just got to get away from it and just walk on the beach. I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, I'm not 60 years old like he is, and every day, Ty, my instinct says, get out of here, get out of here. But there's nowhere to run.
Well, if you believe and you love your country and you want to change things, you have to stay and fight. And he will stay and fight until he physically can't anymore, and he will continue to speak out against tyranny and speak out against things of this nature until he finally can kind of hang up the hat and move on, and then that's where I guess I'll probably have to pick up the mantle and continue speaking out for truth in the works that I do. And we all have to do that as a citizenry, and we need to follow leaders like him and leaders like yourself and other people like Ron Paul and things like that, and don't get duped into believing that if you join an organization that's enough. I mean, you got to stay vigilant. You got to educate people.
We've all got to be leaders. Ty, stay there. Powerful information. I forgot about all the phone callers holding to talk to Ty, so we'll go a little bit into the next hour with him, and then the retransmission starts where I get into this rollout of the president now is going to be breaking into radio, TV, your cell phones, your online video games, and giving you fear-mongering messages. I mean, that is out of Brave New World, 1984, The Running Man. I mean, it's just off the charts insane. Let's take some calls here. For Tyrel Ventura, obviously the son of Jesse Ventura, and a great producer and director in his own right, very talented. Believe me, I've seen him working. He's the heart of the operation. Let's talk to Julio in Illinois. Julio, thanks for holding. Then Corey, Nick, Rick, and Gary and Mike. That's all we got time for. Real fast, Julio, go ahead.
Yeah, Alex, man, this is pretty crazy with Big Brother literally coming over our TV screens. I work at a radio station at my college. We have EAS systems there, and we have to call practically every hour just to get power readings. That's what they tell us, just to see if the EAS system's working. And then
and here's the deal. A decade ago, they weren't all freaked out telling you to check it. Now they're getting you trained to run over to the government takeover box and just worship it. It's your master. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Right, and they tell it, like, one time our plug came out in the station. The station was shut down for like maybe 20 minutes, and they got freaked out about it. But quickly, Alex, you talked about FEMA trying, and the president wanting to talk to us during national emergencies. There's a big exercise coming up in May in a whole bunch of FEMA regions, including FEMA Region 5 in Illinois, NLE 11, getting prepared for earthquakes. And you have FEMA here January 20th, loading up on hydrated beverages.
No, I hear you, Julio. I got to go, but I'm aware of the new NLE national level exercise. You cover that in the police state episode. I think that's what shocked your dad the most is these 10 governors that the states aren't in control.
Yeah, no, it is pretty frightening when you look at it, because it's like these people are we elect the governors, but we didn't elect them to run 10 regions of the country. They should, and that should be something debated on in Congress. That should be a big deal, and instead it just kind of slides through. And this all started in the post 9/11 push, and it's been ongoing for the last 50, 60 years in this country. I would say this push to turn us fascist, essentially.
There's no doubt it's happening now. I mean, it
doesn't matter who's in power. It can be Democrat or Republican. You know, they're all working for the same corporate masters.
Let's jam in one more, then come back and take a few more with Ty on the other side going into the fourth hour. Let's talk to Corey in California. Got about a minute and a half, Corey.
All right, thanks a lot, sir. Hey, I really agree with you, Mr. Ventura, on the stay and fight. I mean, we have to not be scared and, voice our, the facts and opinions and things of that nature. One question, I know you had a lot of questions about Season 3. Are there any, possible considerations on follow-ups on the previous theories, like, say, for example, the BP oil spill, going back down there and just looking at, the devastation that's been wrought there?
Oh, yeah, we would love, in the first two seasons, we didn't really focus on maybe going back to previous conspiracies that we've covered, but we would love to do that, especially with BP or especially even with the police state or the water conspiracy. We always keep tabs after we air a show. We always keep tabs on that particular
The problem is there's so many new things that haven't been covered, though.
Yeah, as soon as, if we can get to 4 or 5 seasons, or maybe even the third season, if we can get that long of a show and long of a run of a show, we definitely would love to go back and revisit some stuff.
Oh, I've got an idea.
We can only get the tip of the iceberg on some of these things.
Yes. How about folks call True TV and email them and write them and say, put the show out on DVD so people can get it and share it. That's a good idea. Needs to be on DVD, Ty.
Definitely. I agree.
All right, stay there. Back in 1 minute, a few final calls. Okay, we're doing a few more minutes with Tyrel Ventura. Again, contact True TV. Tell them, put it out on DVD. The last 2 seasons. Guaranteed people want it. Do a third season. It's so important. We appreciate listeners doing that in the past. Ty, we were just talking. You guys are really pushing for that chemtrail special. I know you guys would knock it out of the park.
Oh, for sure, yeah. We really want to do a chemtrail episode this upcoming season. We've gotten a lot of viewer mail about it. It's one of the hottest ones we have yet to hit. And so we're definitely have that in our sights. Hopefully we'll be able to do it this next year. Like I said, we got to get another season, so let True TV know. But yeah, chemtrail's a big one, Morgellons, the whole thing,
Let's go ahead and talk to Rick in Florida. You're on the air with Tyrel Ventura.
Good afternoon, Alex and Tyrel. What an honor. Alex, you just stole my thunder. That's what I called to ask him about, is the chemtrails. So I'm just going to say I really love you guys. Keep up the hard work. Is there any chance that another cable TV network would pick up the show if True TV decided to drop it?
Well, they'd have to change the name. But, yeah, Ventura could do another show, couldn't he?
Yeah, he could do another show, I guess. But, right now, True TV has not given us any indication that they want to drop it. And they've been super supportive, and we've really enjoyed working with them. So as of right now, we're very happy with where we're at. And I wouldn't even venture to even talk about it just because it's
Thanks, Rick.
I love working with True TV. They've been great, but good question.
Yeah, they were the first to do it. The problem is old Homeland-Security's got the kill switch. Mr. Cohen's the new national TV programmer. Let's go ahead and talk to Gary in Illinois. You're on the air with Tyrel.
Hi, Tyrel. Great show. Unbelievable that the series got out there, and I'm glad it did. It turned a lot of people onto it. I got a few suggestions. So many conspiracies, so little time. Depleted uranium, fluoride, vaccines, Codex Alimentarius.
All that stuff is. We every year when we do a show, we put together about 30 to 40 different show topics, and then kind of whittle it down from there. And so we haven't gotten deep into depleted uranium and that, but it's a great topic. Gulf War syndrome, is another one.
I'm really impressed with the shows you guys have picked, though. You guys have really, and you end up coming to my conclusions separately from me. You guys really do some research.
Oh, we have a great team of staff, and then great producers, great APs, and great company, A. Smith Productions. That really, we have a great support team doing this show, and we try to hit as many of the good ones as we can, and some get left, but that's why we hope for third seasons and fourth seasons and fifth seasons.
Gary, thanks. Good point. Last caller we have time for. Mike in Jersey, you're on the air with Ty. Go ahead.
Yes, through the providence of God, as a matter of fact, I say hello to all the free sovereign people of America. A lawful government has been reestablished in this country, taking control back from the U.S. corporation. Now, if you go to republicfortheunitedstates.org, you will see all the information.
Yeah, I appreciate your call. I see all these different organizations claiming that they've set up a group and everything's going to be fixed, and then it never happens. We've got to individually, physically take our nation back by getting good people elected, kick the EAS, FEMA takeover systems out, sue the TSA, boycott. All of us doing little things are going to overturn this system. Again, and I'm not trying to poo-poo everything you brought up, but I just see all these groups and radio hosts and things I've seen, oh, we're filing with the government. It's all over. The tyranny's over. And that's just not the case. These globalists are dug in. Ty, final comments on all of us. Your dad's down there fighting in Mexico. He's got a new book coming out. He's going to be on our show in early April. He's launching a new book. What's the name? The 63 documents the government doesn't want you to see?
Yeah, that is correct, and that'll be coming out in April, and it's going to be another great read and good book, and it'll be fun. We'll keep our vigilance, and we'll keep our truth telling as long as we can do it, and as long as we have an airway and a capacity to do it, and then we all have to do the same thing, and everyone needs to keep banding together. And hey, the little things count. If you want to change government, focus on your local elections and start there, and then work up. Don't get caught up in the big national elections and all that. Start locally and start building a groundswell and, pull the legs out from under them. Yeah.
Well, Ty, let me say bye to you here at the break, and then we'll talk again soon.